Hello, hello,
Welcome.
hello. How is everyone doing? Another live. We are killing it. Let me just go live
Welcome to
here.
our Saturday live. You notice the clock changed a little bit. It's because New York shifted times.
Yeah, it's actually what they went forward, backward. Time zones always confuse me. But one thing I do know is that you had to wake up earlier now. So that means I think it went forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why we moved it back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, and you wanna watch it on Instagram? We're live on YouTube, Facebook,
Gee.
and Instagram all together. If
Mm-hmm.
you have any questions, be sure to hashtag Q.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Technically, normally whenever we do these lives, I would put out a cover and say that we are going to do a live today, and I would put it out like maybe 2 days in advance, sometimes three. But in this situation, it was a little bit different. I kind of created it the cover at the last minute, and I kind of just told everyone to join. But what's your
He just told me this morning.
no, I told her yesterday, but she just forgot that I told her that we were going live. Well, that's because we're going to be doing a lot of things, and we're going to get into that. In a little bit in this live stream. But yeah, like this is gonna be our last live stream here in Thailand.
Yes, if before we start, can you give us a quick audio and video check? And also, if you're new,
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
welcome. Let us know
Where
in
you're
the
from?
comments. And yeah, anyone joining us, let us know where you watching us from.
hmm We have some people joining us here
From
in Arizona.
Arizona,
Super cool.
welcome.
All right, well, I guess I should address the elephant in the room, right? I mean, you guys see I have a mask on my face, and I decided to do this live stream partially with the mask. And if you don't know, if you haven't joined our live stream, starting this year, Irina and I, living here in Thailand for 9 months, we decided to take this year to do
More health
and
wellness and
wellness. So
more
this
self care.
this is all the self care. But can you guys answer me this question, please? So Irina's been trying to get me to use these facial masks for a long time. I do it every once in a while now because obviously we made a promise that we are going to get into more health and wellness. I do it much more. But do you guys see anything weird about this mask? No? Anything weird? Well, for obviously these masks are kind of made, it seems, for women because the masks are super small. Like, look at the mouth. Like, around the edges of my mouth, it covers part of my mouth. Sometimes it covers a part of my eye because the hole is too small. My whole, pretty much half of my forehead is exposed. The side of my cheek here is all exposed. So these masks are like super tiny. And I think I've
Like for the middle of the one's face.
exactly. And she puts it on and it covers her entire face. And I'm like, man, so I don't know if you guys know of if they have masks of different sizes, I guess for male or female. I don't think so. I mean, it's healthcare is healthcare. And, moisturizing your face is just moisturizing your face. It's no men and women. But yeah, like it's kind of weird that the masks don't fit my face. And every time I put it on, I feel weird. But I just found out the other day, really cool, that whenever I wear these masks, right, here at the bridge of my nose, it always kind of like it doesn't stick, right? And then we found out that if you just cut a slit right across the top bridge, then this part actually folds down. Now the mask is kind of drying off because I've had it on for about maybe 20 minutes, but it actually sticks and it goes right down your nose. And here also there would be a ear pocket, but you can actually stick it. And I was always wondering, like, man, like every
Yeah,
time I push
flatten
down,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it opens back up. It's because of the tension in the middle. So you just have to try it. Just cut a slit there, and yeah.
James is here. Welcome. So, James, I guess now this is a good time for you. You're actually right at the beginning of our live stream. Welcome and thank you for joining. Really happy to see you
He's
here.
well, James seems to be an expert on these masks because he said they don't have any larger size. So I'll probably take your word for it on that one. But here in Thailand, like these masks, let me tell you, they are everywhere. They're even in like 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven has a section of so many of these masks, and they even have one for an age thing. So Irina found this one. It says over 45. I'm not sure if you guys can see that in the circle. It says over 45. So whatever this has in it, it's kind of made for people
And
of older age.
actually, in the US, I haven't seen it. This one is a pack. This is Japanese
Yeah, these are Japanese. A lot of them.
Lululun
Lululun, yeah.
Lululun masks, and they come with a pack of five. I think there's 5 or 7 in there, but it's really cool that kind of eliminating plastic and doesn't have individual cover for all, and it has like a zip pouch.
But the varieties, though, like like the Koreans, they also have these, and like vitamin C, skin brightening, like you name it, they have masks for it. This one is
Rejuvenation.
rejuvenation, and it has snails. Listen, like
Yeah, I got some Korean masks, Japanese masks.
Yeah.
I think it's very unique. They also have American masks here.
mhm.
Imalik is asking, does it hurt taking it off if left on your face for too long?
Well, I've had this on for probably about 20 minutes. As you can see, it's white. That's because there's no more of
Liquid.
the liquid. So I mean, as you can see, because I was gonna take it off anyway, I could peel it off and comes right off.
So no, it does not.
It does not hurt one bit.
At least this type of masks, they are not the ones that stick to your face and you have to rip them off.
I think she might have saw this one, and because it's black, it's like the ones that where it's a liquid, it comes in a tube,
Charcoal.
and you put it on your face and then you let it dry and then you kind of peel it off. We've done that too. I've done. It's actually fun. I kind of like the feeling of pulling it off, but no, it doesn't hurt at all. I mean, when the product first came out, people were like, "Oh my god, it hurts," but I think that was all just kind of like a gimmick because it really doesn't hurt.
Well, I think it depends how sensitive your skin is.
That's true too. But everyone is kind of like, "Oh my god, it hurts."
Yeah.
James also said you might get larger ones in the U.S. Might be Thai size is a small too. This is true.
Oh,
This is true.
James,
This is true.
genius. Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna go kind of wash it off. Irene's gonna take over. I'll be right back.
I'm kind of trying out different brands of skincare. I went to this store. It's called the Watsons. They are all over Southeast Asia, and I made a TikTok. If you are not following us on TikTok, it's Living the Globe, and there I'm just trying to do more of like story type of content. And I met this consultant. He speaks English, and he was able to recommend me different things. So I got some Japanese brand, Chinese brand, Thai brand skincare. So we're trying out different things. Imalik is asking, are you still in Thailand? Yes, we are here for what's today, 17, for another 3 days actually, to 17, 18, 19, 19 in the evening. We are leaving Thailand and we're heading to the Philippines. We're meeting our friends, Chris and Marta, for our summer in the Philippines. Chris was born in the Philippines, but he lives in Hawaii, and they are flying there for 2 weeks. So, excuse me, no coffee yet. For me, it's early. I usually don't go to sleep till late, and I normally cannot even fall asleep until later. So it's always difficult for me to wake up. So we're meeting them in the Philippines for 2 weeks. We'll be traveling with them, and actually this is probably the first time when we are not planning absolutely anything. Well, actually second time, because the first time we happened to we were forced to fly to Cambodia an hour and a half before our flight leaves. So we did not plan anything for Cambodia, and we had a great time. So this is going to be the second time when we are not planning anything. And because Chris and Marta already have some plans, so we're just going to
Tag
go
along.
along and explore with them. So it should be really fun videos coming out soon.
Yeah. And actually, speaking about videos coming out soon, we've done a couple videos over the past couple weeks, and we just kind of want to backtrack on those and those type of videos in case you missed it. So we've done a couple mall videos, and those videos have done really well. It seems like you guys really enjoy the mall tours and walking through the malls, and we go through every single floor, and you guys see what it's like. And the malls here have just been spectacular, and we've gone to the malls in Bangkok and here in Pattaya. But also, I kind of made a kind of blunder in the beginning of one of our last vlog videos. I stated right in the very front, I'm like, whenever you think of Thailand, you think of it as being a third world country and blah, 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 blah. Well, it seems like, why did I say that? Because people in the comments started saying, what are you talking about? Thailand is not a third world country.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
I did not know. I always thought for some reason that is like all Southeast Asia was.
Right.
And
It's
well,
not.
yeah, apparently it's not. Well, good to know.
Yeah.
But it made quite a few people angry.
Yeah,
just
like some
that,
people
just
like
that statement.
yeah, like, oh, do your research. Like Thailand is not a third world country. And then you have people who responded, well, I'm glad we're, meaning I don't know if they live here or if they're Thai, and they're like, we're a third world country. This way we don't have to pay high prices. So it seems like some people don't even really know that Thailand is not a third world country, and you just maybe assume it is.
Well,
But
at least we did.
right, and a quick Google search and you find out that Thailand is a second world country. Well, that's funny because how many second world countries do you know? Because it's for us, it's either like first world country or third world country.
Yeah, I didn't really think of which ones is the
Second, right? Exactly. So yeah, that was a little kind of strange. So yeah, we got a little bit of flack for that. But all in all, you know, I think everyone, hey Kelly, welcome, welcome.
You back from Hawaii? How was your trip?
So so those videos did very well. After we finish this live, literally we are going to walk out the door, and we have a few videos that we're going to be filming here before we leave within the next couple days. One of them is going to be the largest 7-Eleven. If you know anything about Asia, Southeast Asia, you know that they're huge on 7-Eleven. That is their...
How many? There are like 13,000 or 17,000 7-Elevens,
Yes.
something like that.
So there's over 13,000 7-Elevens here in Thailand. The only other country that has more would be Japan, and I think they have about 20,000. But Thailand has the largest 7-Eleven in the world, and we're actually going to film that right after we finish this live, and that video will be coming out, I don't know, probably by this or the upcoming week. We'll kind of put that video out there, so make sure you look out for that.
I'm actually really excited. And if you didn't know, well, Southeast Asia, the type of products that they sell in the 7-Eleven is completely different from the US. And
talk about a convenience store.
It's fascinating what kind of things they sell, and I absolutely love. I will show you what I love about that.
Yeah.
But and you can actually have like a full meal over there too, and we'll see what we can find for breakfast there.
We're gonna go film that, and we have a mall here in Pattaya, or Pattaya, potatoes, tomatoes. That I don't want to give it away, but I'm sure with a quick search you could find it. But the mall here is really, really, really unique, and we're gonna go film that. Yes, and we're gonna be filming that, and that video is gonna be coming out again more than likely next week, because we usually do 2 to 3 videos, so it'd be 4 with the live video that we produce. When we get to the Philippines, we will try to go live, and we'll try to keep the same schedule. But again, because we're with Chris and Martha, maybe we go live and we're poolside or we're somewhere. I don't know. I'll see if we have reception or what the internet is like based on our location and the day that we decide to go live.
Yeah, the thing The data is, if you go live, it drains your
It
data
drains your
really
data.
fast. So we're not sure if we'll be able to go live, just at least from the phones,
Hmm.
because again, the internet might not be as good.
Hmm.
And Imalik says, "My name is Ed. You guys helped me when I went to Oahu, planning to go to Lombok in August. Lombok is Indonesia.
Oh, cool.
If somebody is not sure, yes, Ed, I remember you had lots of questions.
Oh yeah, that's
you
right.
you sent us on Instagram. It's just not. It's just difficult to remember people's names along with their tag names. So
Yeah.
yeah, Svetlana is here. Hi,
Hey, how are you?
Svetlana. How you doing? We see you doing a great things on
Yes, she's doing it
Instagram.
big. She's doing it big for sure.
Yeah. By the way, Ed, we will be in Bali probably in August. Maybe still. So reach out to us and maybe we'll meet up somewhere
Yeah, for
in
sure.
Bali.
And also, speaking of that, so after we leave the Philippines, if you didn't catch the last live, the big news was we will be going to the Maldives. We've kind of switched our schedule around slightly as far as dates, but right after Philippines, we're going to be going to Bali, and we're putting together a travel guide for the Maldives because the Maldives is very challenging to navigate as far as putting all together and the schematics and everything. So we thought it's a great opportunity since we were there for a month a few months back. We decided
Well, actually, it was like
about a
a year.
year. Yeah, so we were there last year. So we're going back again next month, and we're going to be staying there for a month or longer. It depends on the
Depends on the
weather.
weather.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
weather has a lot to do with it because now it's coming up on shoulder season when we get there, and then from shoulder season it goes into rainy season. So monsoon. So we technically don't want to be around there when the weather is just like crazy and raining every day and downpours. So um, yeah, it all depends on the weather.
Yeah, so we might extend, might not, we'll see, but we decided to actually move our trip up. We were planning to be there for the month of May, and this time we're like, hey, maybe we'll just gonna go in April. This way, Ramadan will be already over, and Easter is actually earlier this year.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Easter prices in the Maldives go up like two
Yeah, a lot,
times.
a lot.
So we decided to go there earlier.
Hmm. Also, speaking about our other videos that we have published, if you haven't seen, we've done a lot of medical things here in Thailand, and one of the videos we put out is Irina kind of losing her hair. If you didn't see that video, after this is done, we're going to link it in the description of this video so you could check it out. But you want to kind of just kind of do an overview of what that situation was like?
Yeah, I actually thought it was regarding like water here in Southeast Asia, but I started to lose a lot of my hair, and my scalp was super sensitive. So we decided to go to a hair specialist. And
What she meant about the water, just in case you don't know, in Bali and Southeast Asia, Indonesia, the water is not of good quality at all. And you will probably hear this if you've watched any like videos on YouTube. You'll hear girls complaining about my hair and using the water when you take a shower because it's not good. A lot of women start losing their hair. So that's kind of what we started contributing why Irene was losing her hair.
yeah, but the doctor said it's I'm at this age when it's probably genetic because she did not find any abnormalities. I did a lot of blood tests as well to eliminate hormonal changes and
Alopecia,
yeah,
these type of things.
and turns out I'm just low also on vitamin D.
Hmm.
And what was I saying? I don't know what the and what.
Well, basically, after you got that done, you got the
Uh,
treatment.
Oh, yes, yes. So the doctor recommended a treatment for me. I've been doing several sessions already of a photonal laser for my hair, and it was along with PRP treatment, which is plantain-rich plasma.
And basically, they take the blood,
Uh-huh.
right, and they strip it
Yeah, they
of
have some
whatever it
type of
is,
machine that separates plasma from your blood.
right, and it looks like urine, the color of urine when they're done with it, and then that's what
They actually have like over 100 manual injections, tiny injections right into my scalp, and
with our own
yeah,
plasma.
with my own plasma.
Yeah.
And next week is going to be my last session here, my session number 4. They recommend 4 to 5 sessions, so every 2 weeks I've been going to the clinic, and we did a video on that on our YouTube, and I also have a video on that on TikTok, just a short portion.
Hmm. But it's been, how do you feel? You feel like, well, definitely less hair now
Yeah,
is
even
being
when I
lost.
shower, I notice usually, I don't know, ladies, let me know. Devon always making fun of me when I shower. After I wash my hair, rinse it from the conditioner, I kind of just go like this and take off the excess hair and stick it on the wall. And so this way it doesn't go into the drain at least as much. So
I'm going to take a photo of next time I see that, because it's the funniest thing, because then I go in and she forgets to remove
sometimes I
sometimes the
forget,
ball of
yeah.
hair on the wall, and I walk in and through the corner of my eye I see this thing on the wall, and I'm like, what is that? And when I look, it's like just a clump of hair just stuck to the wall. I'm thinking like an insect or something, and I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah, and so I see that the clump of hair that I'm collecting after conditioning is at least 3 to 4 times less. But it's still, my treatment is not complete,
Hmm.
but so far it's good, and I will do a before and after. I
Comparison.
think TikTok would be better because it's not going to be enough information for the full video. But yeah, if you have not followed us on TikTok, it's Living the Globe.
And also on Instagram, it's the same as Living the Globe. I think we have a few
Mhm.
questions here on
Yeah,
Instagram.
Victoria says I do that as well. Well, thank you.
Oh, two people.
I'm not alone on that, because Devon always makes fun of me, and he's like, "Do women always do that?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't shower with other women, so I have no idea what other women do. But that's what I've been doing for
But
a
it makes
long
sense. I mean,
time.
it makes sense because of the fact that a lot of times when women wash their hair, it'll always clog the
The
bathtub,
drain.
the drain, and you always get water backed up in the tub or in the shower. And I'm always like, man, and I know it's not like my hair because my hair is just super short. So it's her hair that's backing up the thing. So it makes sense to just collect it on the wall and then just kind of throw it in the garbage when you're
Yeah.
done. So
Yeah, but sometimes I do forget to throw it in the garbage. Ed is asking, do you get travel insurance? We just have a travel insurance through our credit card.
mhm.
We are using Chase Sapphire
Yes,
Preserve.
yes.
Yeah, is it
Hmm.
Preserve,
Yeah.
something like that, or Preferred, and it gives you some type of coverage, but it's more like on the emergency coverage, so it doesn't really cover like if you decide not to travel or something. Like last time we had visa situation, it
Yeah.
didn't cover.
Didn't really cover.
But other than that, we don't use travel insurance. And he's asking how has been, excuse me, how has been married life. Excellent. Never better.
Pascal says, it takes a few tries for it to work. I know someone who did it. It works. Well, I'm assuming she's talking about
The
the
hair
the hair
treatment, yeah.
treatment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, my doctor said it takes 4 to 5 treatments, and it's I'm doing it 2 weeks apart, and obviously even for here to grow it takes several months.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will wait for a little bit before I will update you with the full results.
Mhm. And we also did another video, another medical video where we had this procedure done called Juvilook. And
Yeah.
that video is going to be coming out again probably next week because we do about 3 videos a week, including our live, which is 4. So look out for that video. We show you the procedure. We show you what it's all about. It's I don't think it's in the US.
Yeah, Juvilook is a
Korean.
Korean brand. They don't have that in the US, but it is a collagen biostimulator. And in the US, they have a similar treatment called Sculptra. Maria, she said, I do that too. Oh, welcome to
See,
the club.
you got 3 women. You got 3 women that's done it.
Yeah, we have our member, Patricia. Welcome. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
your
joining.
support. Good evening from Florida.
Yes. Let us know. Is this time good for you guys to kind of watch our live stream? Because as I mentioned in other live streams, it's obviously not good for her because she keeps yarning. But we want to make sure that we're kind of in a time slot where kind of people are off from work, they're unwinding and kind of just going through their phones or kind of watching us on TV. And we want to kind of find the best time where we can come and sit and chat with you guys and give you the latest lowdown.
Actually, in the Philippines, the time will be again 12-hour difference.
Yeah, so we go back. Yeah. It'd be good for you. But when we go to the Maldives, which I think for the most part, when we're in the Maldives, we're not going to be live streaming.
Well, I'm going to try to get a SIM card with 100 gigs.
Okay.
So we'll see if we can stream off the SIM card. But again, sometimes in the Maldives, even with the SIM card, it's low service. And obviously, internet, they're trying to make it better. But the resorts usually have 3 to 5 megabytes coverage. And it's just enough for you to just look at your email.
Yeah. So, probably we won't be going live. But if we get a chance to, we definitely will. Because some of the hotels in the Maldives have internet. But again, it's not that great for live stream. Live stream requires a certain specifications for you to do it and for it to be clean. Because if not, you're going to start getting your video it'll start breaking apart and it'll look choppy. And it's just not worth it, to go live under that situation. Yolanda's here. Welcome. Hey, Yolanda. Yolanda, say hello, you too. Nice to see you. Missed you too last week, Sunday, because of the time change. Oh, I was wondering that. I was like, wait a minute. When did the time change happen? Because I was talking to my sister last night, and I'm like, what time is it there? And I'm expecting her to say the same time as ours, just 12-hour difference. And when she told me the time, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It changed. You guys kind of went ahead. So yeah. So now that answers my question. It's actually last week that it changed. James says almost 7 p.m. Pacific time here. So that's great. That's good to know. Wait a minute. Japan in the building.
Wait, how do you pronounce Yusuke?
Yusuke. You already started to do it that way. We've been watching so much content from Japan. Like, we're putting it out there. Like, we have to hit Japan and hit it hard. Like, Japan gives you a 3-month visa, and there's actually other visas for like content creators that you could stay longer. So we're looking to optimize our time when we go to Japan. We want to stay there for 6 months if possible, even a year if possible. So we're looking into all the options. And when we hit Japan, we're hitting it hard. We want to take cruises when we're there to the different islands. We're just, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining, by the way.
Yeah, and we've been watching also videos on how to say different words. Of course, it's very difficult to remember, but I like the tonality, and it sounds pretty simple. It's just, the matter of remembering. But as far as the pronunciation, it sounds doable.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. When we are in Japan, I'll be definitely hearing more of the Japanese, and I will remember more things. And you'll hear me say things in Japanese in our vlogs. Victoria said, I'm going to the Maldives while in Thailand, staying for 5 nights at the same hotel you recommended on Bikini Beach. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's
Thank
so
you.
cool.
When are you going, first of all?
Right.
And which island are you planning to stay on? I'm really excited for
That's
you.
awesome. Let me bring up the camera.
It said you got to see Japan during Christmas. It's unbelievable
Oh
to
my
see the
gosh.
lights.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
And it's also, I think, cold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whether it's cold or summer, whatever it is, I am just so fascinated by Japan, and I just can't wait to get there. It's probably when you're gonna see me at my most excited moment.
Victoria, April 20th through 25th. We're actually, I think we might be arriving either on the 18th or 20th as
Yeah,
well.
we'll be at the same.
So definitely let us know.
Yeah, keep in contact with us. Let us
She's
know.
asking
in
about the
DM.
visa. I'm assuming you are from the US and you do not need a visa. They'll just give you a stamp on arrival for 30 days. The only thing you need to fill out 72 hours before arriving is the health declaration
Right.
on their website.
Mm-hmm.
Maafushi, is that right? They do have Maafushi, yes. So you're staying at Kani, is that what it is? We might be going to the Maafushi first as well.
Right. So we might be there around the same time.
Yeah. Text us on IG your itinerary, so maybe we'll see you there.
For
but
sure.
I'm so excited.
That's so cool.
Oh my goodness.
Patricia says, I'm an old member from when you were in Hawaii. She's like, come back.
Thank you
Awesome.
for supporting us.
She says she'll be going back to Hawaii in April for a month. Any info on affordable car rental?
Car rental is well, first of all, what do you consider affordable? Some people say $100 a day is affordable. For some people, obviously, is less. But
well, Turo, the options.
Yeah, there are different options. It's really like you need to shop around for affordable car rental. It's not something like this company all the time affordable. No, prices fluctuate so much, especially after that crisis with when COVID hit, when all
you can't say the C word.
No,
our YouTube channel can get banned for that.
Serious? I didn't know.
Well, not really, but
no.
Continue.
Okay, so so when the pandemic hit, all the car rentals were trying to get rid of their cars. I don't know why. Maybe they thought it was gonna be like for a really long time, and then it happened, the shortage of the cars, and after that it's kind of like you never know with the car rentals. But what I think it's a good tip is when you know there are some companies that you can reserve your car rental without actually paying. I know Enterprise does that, and what you can do is you can reserve if you think it is a good price.
Lock it in.
You can lock it in and keep monitoring not only the same company, because even the same company prices change, but deals. also different companies. And if you are like AAA member and some type of corporate organization, they have some websites with discounts, you can also look over there.
Yeah. Let's see, we have some more comments here. James said Japan will be awesome. Oh yes, for sure.
Excited.
I want to get this person's name right.
I would say Yusuki.
Yusuki.
Yusuki. Is it Usuki or Yusuki?
We hope we got that right. We apologize if it's not. We're so sorry, but we'll just go with Yusuki because it just sounds like it would flow. She said, "Thanks for your videos. I could enjoy staying in the Maldives."
You're
for
welcome.
Sure.
When are you going?
Yeah, Vegas in the house. Thank you so much for your support as always.
Oh, it's so unusual to see LTG now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're so used to JBO now. Yes, it's LTG.
LTG.
I didn't get the notification. Oh,
Bummer.
sorry, but I'm glad you came.
You
Thank
came
you
and
so
joined us.
much.
Let us know. Most of you, are you getting our notifications whenever we go live or whenever we post something in the community? If you're not getting these notifications, maybe it's because when you subscribe to our channel, normally when you hit the subscribe button, it says subscribed, and then it gives you a little window on the right hand side that says all or some, or it gives you three other options. If you choose the top one, it says all. And what happens is when YouTubers say turn on your notification, that's what that means. If you click all after you subscribe, then whenever we give you updates or photos or any type of polls in our community, you will get a notification. Also, when we post a brand new video, you will get a notification as well. So for those of you who are not getting notifications, and I know some of you say you don't, that might be the reason. It's probably because your notification is not turned on. So just something to check on.
Whether it's all notifications or just one.
Correct. So Jen says Turo works for us most of the time. Yeah, Turo is actually a good one.
Yeah, we tried it several times, but again, you need to look at the ratings for the owner, because some reviews say there were cockroaches inside the car and the car was filthy.
And if you know anything about Hawaiian cockroaches, they're not. So okay, so there's two different types of saying. So there's a cockroach, and then there's a water bug. Maybe a little bit too big, but yeah, there are water bugs in Hawaii, and I don't think you want to be driving and you have a water bug in your vehicle, because that can cause an accident. We wouldn't want that. James says, I watched a vlog and they recommend renting a Tesla in Hawaii. The reason being is because with the price of gas, it basically pays for itself. If you have a charger at your hotel or rental. So I'm sure they probably have charging stations. I'm not sure how that works because we haven't seen it. That happened after we left. But yeah, I mean, for sure, when we were living in Hawaii, we were actually thinking about purchasing a Tesla. We actually got into one. We were going to do a test drive, but our timing didn't match up. So we didn't do a test drive with the Tesla. But we were thinking it's perfect to have a Tesla in Hawaii because you could loop around the island and it's not really, you never have to put gas. So, that was one of the reasons, but obviously it's proof because James said now they're recommending it. So it makes perfect sense. Patricia says, okay, fantastic. Will do. Francisco Calderon in the building. Muchacho, nice to see you again. It looks like it's a good time for you to join too, because I see you always join around this time. Yusuke says, good pronunciation. We got it. We got it. So let's see. Vegas says, why is this not pop? Oh, there we go. I get the TikTok for sure.
Yeah,
I always push all on YouTube, but I'll check it after.
Yeah, I just saw you liking several of our videos. Thank you.
Yolanda says, are we still able to buy some of your items from JBO? You mean the classic items, the throwback vintage items? Yes. So if you do go to the description in our videos and stuff, you will see that we do have a store and you can buy the actually we're wearing them, the JBO, but these you can't get these because these were done in the Maldives. We found a place that actually printed on these plain shirts, and we were able to do that. But yes, you can get the JBO shirts and bags and stuff. Maybe I should just leave that there because some people seem to really like that merch. But we are working on a new logo, and we're going to have those out soon. And I'm sure we're going to go live and announce that, we have the new Living the Globe logo. Merch, I should say. Yeah. Okay.
Kona just joined us on Instagram. Welcome.
Vegas says, I just thought of your merch the other day. It's probably like, what's gonna happen now? Like there'll be no more JBO. I'll do a category that says JBO throwback classic vintage and the new logo.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Jennifer says, we rented a Tesla and almost got stranded on the North Shore. Not a lot of charging stations on the island. Interesting.
But when you have a full charge, it should be
It
enough for
should be
you to go
enough.
around the island. Maybe you just didn't charge it. Is
Yeah,
it?
maybe it wasn't a full charge. Let us know like what the situation was with that, because I'm thinking on a full charge you can circle that island probably twice.
Mhm.
You know?
Victoria said, should you get an international license for Thailand to ride scooters? Hubby said he is afraid to drive a scooter. 100% you should get your license because they do stop you and they do ask for you. Not only you should get it,
Where
but
in
you
Bali?
Thailand.
Oh, in Thailand. Okay.
You should carry it with you. Make sure you do carry it
So we're
with you.
talking what, international driver's license?
Yes, international driver's license because they would fine you if you don't have the license.
It's always good to have it with you.
Yeah.
Chances are it's not, but to be on the safe side
Mhm.
of things and not to get into any type of, issues, it's
Mhm.
always good to have it. Our international license will expire.
It already
Oh,
expired.
so we got our international license when we were in New York last, and it's like for a year, 2 years.
1 year.
So our international license, yeah, was for 1 year. It expired already. So now we're thinking, man, like we need to figure out how we're going to get our international driver's license, especially if we're thinking about going to Japan,
Mhm.
because we want to do certain things in Japan that requires you to have an international driver's license.
Mhm.
So we're kind of looking into that.
Yeah, but driving a scooter, we actually never drove a scooter here in Thailand.
Nor
Devon
Bali.
drove a car,
Hmm.
and it's on
For
the
the
left.
first time.
Yeah, it's on the left side. But the taxis and scooter taxis are so affordable here. You might not even
Yeah,
need
you won't
to.
even need to. But can we go back a little bit and talk about driving on the left side? That is an experience all of it on its own. I remember when we were living in Hawaii, we were live, and we had a little discussion about that, and I kind of put it out on Facebook. I said, "Hey, anybody can give any tips about what the experience is like driving on the left side?" And I remember one that stood out from a friend of ours, and she said basically, what did she say? She said,
Just stick to the left.
just stick to the left. No matter what you just stick to the left. And that kind of stood out in my mind. But one thing that I noticed instantly when I started driving on the left side. So technically, this is going to be awkward because the camera is not
Yeah.
flipped. But when you drive on the
Left, right?
no, it's the right side. See, I'm already
No,
confused.
stick to the left.
Stick to the left. Okay, so normally when you're driving and you look in your rear view mirror, you have already that mechanical thing to kind of look up to your right to check your rear view mirror, right? That way you can see behind you. And then you look left to check your left side. Well, when you're on the opposite side, when that's flipped and I'm driving, I still have that mechanism to kind of look this way. And there's the mechanics, I should say.
Yeah.
So look this way, and my mirror is not there anymore. I'll be looking out the top corner of the vehicle. So I have to now turn this way to look at my rear view mirror. And for me, that was the biggest difference. With the knowing where to drive, it's fine because you could always follow the flow of traffic, right? There's always going to be a car in front of you and you'll kind of know where to go. And eventually that kind of becomes a norm also. But being in the vehicle, and also this is the second one. So besides looking at the mirror from the right, I now have to switch to the left. When you indicate, so normally when you turn left or turn right, you indicate. But what happens is I always hit the windshield wiper, because the windshield wiper is located on the opposite side when you're on the left-hand side.
Mhm.
So whenever I want to turn right, I always turn on the windshield wipers. That also happens. Let me know if you have these same issues when you're actually had to switch. Obviously, coming from the US, you drive on that side. Let me
Yeah.
know if these are two things that actually stood out to you, because for me, it was like I'm making a turn, and the windshield wipers pop on. I'm like, oh no, that's the wrong thing. So what I did when I was driving is that I always kept my hand, like my pinky, on the indicator. This way I know when I'm ready to turn, I know where to find it, because it took me a while to kind of get used to it.
Well, you said the indicators on the right.
Again, the left, the right. You guys, I'll just say American, and then I'll say but yeah, the left and the right always confuse me when I'm kind of when it comes to the driving thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was really, really
Yeah, but
interesting.
we've been in Southeast Asia already for almost a year, and even being in a taxi, we're already so used to the left hand side
How are you gonna go
driving.
back to the right?
And some countries is still on the right, some countries on the left, and it's kind of like now it's all mixed up.
Yeah. So we need to straighten that out. What else do we have here? Anything else? Anything else? You have anything on
Mhm.
Instagram? So yeah, what else were we talking about?
Medication.
Oh, medication. So few people were asking, well, how is it as far as they were reaching out to us on Instagram, they were asking, well, how's the medication like and stuff like that. Well, first thing you need to know is that when you're here, you're not going to find name brands. Not that you're not going to find it, but it's much easier to find second and third name brands. So you're not going to find really like Tylenol like you find in the US, but
No, they do have
they
Tylenol.
have
Yeah,
Tylenol.
they
Okay,
have
well, it's not
Tylenol
it's
brand.
not as easy to find. You go to most pharmacies and
No,
like
it's
7-Eleven,
7-Eleven
you can see it.
everywhere. Yeah, they have to,
Okay,
but
well,
they package them
the
differently.
packaging right is different, but it's the same. The same dosage is what you would find. So if you have certain brands in America, so my son suffers from asthma. My sister's daughter suffers from asthma, and she asked for if we could send her some inhalers from here. And again, it's different where the dosage are the same,
The
but it's
medication, the name is of medication is the same,
is
but
the
the
same.
brand is different.
Correct. So you'll get all the 100 milligrams and all that stuff. That will all be the same, but it's just a different brand. So we went to the doctors, like we mentioned several times, and like I told you guys in our last vlog, I had a situation where my feet, the bottom of my feet, was kind of getting really dry, and we decided to go to the doctor. They scraped the bottom of my feet and to see if it was fungus. And then when the results came back, they found out that it wasn't fungus, so it was just kind of dry feet. So they gave me a cream that had a dosage of steroids in it, so I could put it twice on my feet, and that has helped so far. But also, one of my toenails was a little bit thicker than the other ones, and I anticipated that it was fungus. So what they did was they clipped a part of my toenails and they sent it to the lab. And when it came back, um, we found out that I did have a little bit of fungus under my big toenail. So that has to be treated, but it cannot be treated by a cream. It cannot be treated externally. So I have to take medication for that. So the thing is, when they give you medication in the hospital, we found out that it is just way more expensive than if you were to just go to a pharmacy anywhere within the area.
Yeah, they I guess that's the part of the business. When they told us how much the medication was, it we actually got it for 3 months, because you have to take this type of medication for 1 week, for 3 months. So 1 week in each month. So it ends up being 94 pills, because it's 4 pills a day.
Mhm.
And they also prescribed the cream. So in the hospital, they wanted to charge 6,000 baht, which turns out to 167 US dollars. The same medication, the same dosage that we found in the pharmacy was under 40 US dollars.
So that's a drastic. That's almost like a three times,
Four,
two and
four
change, four
times.
times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's a really huge difference. So just so you know, but here's the thing though, if you probably haven't thought about it, when doctors write you prescriptions from like medical stuff, like pills and stuff like that, they're quick to do that because it's a business. And that's a deep rabbit hole. I don't want to go too deep on it, but just know that these doctors get a kickback when they write medications for you. That's why in the Western culture, everything is a pill. I have this, here's a pill. I have this, here's a prescription. Here's a bunch of pills you could take. Like no one really talks about the natural part of healing. like maybe let's take a look at your diet. Maybe that is the reason why you're going through what you're going through. They never go that route. What do? If you really want to know that, then you have to go to a nutritionist and hire a nutritionist for them to take a look at what it is that you're eating and your diet. But majority of the sicknesses that we have is based on our diet, and all the crap that we're eating is what's really killing us. And the solution is the magic pill. But with the magic pill, the pharmaceutical companies are making these pills, the doctors are prescribing it, they get a kickback. It's all a business. So that's why it's so high sometimes to get medication, because, again, it's a business. But if you change the way you ate, it would help a lot.
But unfortunately, with some condition like nail fungus, diet is not gonna
Right,
help.
that is not going to help. So you gotta. But again, the point is, when you're in the hospital and they write you the prescription, it's just way more than if you were to go to a pharmacy here in Thailand. In the United States, same, right? Like they write you the prescription. It's expensive to visit the doctors, and it's expensive for your medication. Like it's crazy expensive in the United States for medication. Crazy expensive. And I've only known that because when we left the United States in the first time and we went to Russia, I was blown away, number one, by the amount of pharmacies that were located in Russia, but also the cost was substantially low, that it was just literally mind-blowing. And I kept saying that, how is it that the medication here in Russia is so much cheaper than it is in the United States? And you're like, okay, that's Russia, and you can have your reasons. Okay, well, here in Thailand as well, and other places we visited, medication is so much cheaper. Again, the brands might not be the same, but the dosage and everything per pill is exactly the same. So why is that? Is the question.
Yeah, and that's why Devan's family asked for some medications that in the US it's way more expensive, especially if you don't have the insurance. And here in Thailand, you can buy the medication without prescription.
That's another thing.
So you can just go to the pharmacy.
Russia is the same way.
Yeah, many medications that you don't need prescription for. Antibiotics you can buy without prescription. Steroids.
Some of the things they give you here, the prescription they give you here, the doctor's like, you could get that at a 7-Eleven. That was mind-blowing to me. You can walk into a 7-Eleven and get what it is that you need to fix what it is you need. Mind-blowing. But yeah, that's a situation. But one thing we have to say is, to visit a doctor here in Thailand is cheap. It's very affordable.
It's much cheaper. Yeah, depending on the doctor also, and depending on what you need to get done. But hospitals is more expensive, and just smaller clinic. Regular doctor is actually on Monday we're gonna go. It's only $8 to see a regular doctor in a private clinic.
I went recently to get a filling redone because it had fell out, and the dentist was anyway. The
visit was free.
The visit was free.
He was doing the filling, and the filling was about $36 for the filling.
So again, that's it's different in different countries, but it's definitely it's very affordable here. James says, feel the driving pain. I was in London years ago and automatically went to the right as a passenger. People I was with asked if I wanted to drive. My response was, do you want to live?
James, your sense of humor is the best.
That's crazy. But yeah, it's when you're so used to something all your life and then you have to switch it up. It's like, wait, my brain is not functioning that way. We need to go back to the way it was. Vegas says, she has a question. Was the toenail dark? My friend on the East Coast had fungus and her toes were dark. I think she said it was from a nail salon that didn't change the water for the pedicure.
Ooh.
So I don't know, is it dark? It's just a discoloration. Mine was like a
not too dark.
It's not dark. But also what had happened, the situation that happened with my nail, when I was younger, I was playing football and I was wearing cleats that was smaller than my actual foot size, and I had borrowed it from a friend. And I stumped my toe while playing football, and my nail started bleeding. And I continued playing it, and I think over time that's the cause of it, because we even tried like taking off the toenail. It's just like the corner of the toe. It's not the entire toenail. It's just the very corner, and we tried to kind of like cut out that dead area, and it grew back, but it still kind of grew back a little bit with a slight discoloration. But it's not. Yeah, it wasn't black. I think at one point it was black when it first happened, but yeah.
Victoria says, wow, so get diagnosed and go to a local pharmacy. Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of the way and that's exactly what we did. So when they prescribed my medication for me to take, the cream and the pill for the fungus and the cream for just the dry skin, um, when we saw the price, we were like, whoa, that's kind of steep. So right away, Irene is kind of like, I think we could get this cheaper. So she started Googling it, but it was coming up in the search, but it was a different brand. So the doctors prescribe a different brand than what was popping up on the Google search. And also, we weren't getting a price on the Google search, but we were like, you know what? It's gotta be cheaper than this at the pharmacy. It can't be this expensive.
Yeah, I don't see locals spending $167 for
medication,
which is for most people is like half of their monthly salary.
Right. So right away, what we did was, which is really cool here, is that the hospitals have a pharmacy department right in it. So whatever it is the doctor prescribed, you go to the counter, you get the medication you need, and then you check out and you pay for everything. So we stopped the payment for the medication. We took a photo of whatever the prescription that was made out for us, and then we went to a pharmacy and we just started asking around. We just go, because there's so many pharmacies here in this area. We just started bouncing from pharmacies, and it's like, oh wow, this is the cheapest we found it, and we were able to get it like really, really, really affordable. So yeah, that's definitely the way it worked. Patricia asked, how is the health insurance?
We don't have health insurance. Again, through our credit cards, if we have any type of emergency, we'll be able to get the coverage. But like, I think what we're spending on just going to the doctor is much cheaper than having health insurance, because health insurance is, again, you have to claim it. It works in only certain scenarios, and going through all this stuff and trying to like claim your money back because you have insurance, I would just rather pay for the service, and that's it. And again, of course, if you have some type of emergency that would cost substantial, yeah, in this case you do need an insurance, but I think our credit card covers emergencies.
Yeah, insurance is another really funny thing, and we've heard a lot of stories on both sides. Like, you pay for this insurance, you pay for that insurance, and it's always a just in case, right? So when we just saw this on TikTok just the other day, someone's like, could you please tell me what's going on with this insurance thing? Like, I pay for insurance, but then when I go to the hospital or I go to the doctors, I have to pay a copay. Well, what have I been paying for all these years of my life when I got the insurance? Like, you can't take the copayment out of all that money that I've been sending to you. And it's always well, this doesn't cover a broken finger, not a part of your insurance, sorry. It's just like there's so many like fine print details that you only know when you're in the situation. That goes to like most insurance. We've bought insurance for like camera gear and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I broke my camera, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't cover it if it got sand in it, or no, we don't cover it because it got a little bit of moisture in it, and you only know this when you file the claim, and they tell you, oh yeah, and that's going to be a problem.
But even with the credit card, so our credit card has the purchase protection, and it doesn't cover when you lose an item, but it covers when you misplace it, when you know exactly where the object is, or
it's weird.
And so I'm like, when we lost the microphone receiver, it was literally within a month within purchases, so it technically it's supposed to be covered by the insurance. And when I put in the claim, they now tell me, send me a report. And I'm like, what kind of report? You need police report, you need hotel report, like what kind of report? They never answer you what kind of report. They keep saying, send me the report, the information on the website. I go for that specific link that they send me. There's just no information. It's just the report for accidents for cars, but not for lost items.
Yeah.
So it's just this insurance is just a lot of headache and stress for no reason. And when you feel entitled for something that you're trying to claim the money for, it just gives you extra stress because
they make
feel
you
like,
jump through hoops.
Yeah,
it's
you
never
should get it.
straightforward. It's never. Actually, the only thing that has been straightforward that I could say and I could experience is the fact that, for example, our iPhones, whenever you get Apple Care for your laptop, your AirPods, whatever it is you buy from Apple, and something goes wrong with it, you can always bring it into an Apple store. And it's never like, no, that's not included in Apple Care. Like, I've never had that situation.
Only one situation when, remember, we bought the screen protector.
Oh, yeah.
And we dropped the phone, so the screen protector Belkin, which cost $40 for a screen protector, it broke. And they said lifetime coverage for the screen protector. When I called for it, I felt
but this is Belkin. So this is not
scam.
Apple.
But it goes through Apple.
That's true. Apple sells it. So we bought the insurance through Apple, right?
It's coverage.
Right, the coverage.
So Belkin said, well, if you drop it, it doesn't cover.
Well, how would the screen break if you don't drop it? That's how most of the cracks happen.
I felt so cheated. So we bought $80 worth of 2 of the shitty protectors, and it didn't cover the breakage. And I was so shocked, and I felt like so scammed by this company. And obviously never bought it again.
But then again, because Belkin obviously is a third party, even though it's covered or it's sold through Apple, they have their own set of rules.
But Apple doesn't tell you either.
Well, they never do. Every time you buy any type of electronics, you buy it and you're like, wait, when you're checking out, they're like, oh, would you like to buy insurance for this? And they pull out a pamphlet for you. And I always ask them, I'm like, does this cover everything? Well, tell me what it does not cover. And then they'd be like, oh, well, if it's stolen or if it's water damage or whatever, then they tell you. But a lot of times you're just talking to an employee. What do they really know? They just want to sell you the insurance because I'm sure they get a kickback for selling the insurance. So they don't even know. So they'll be like, oh, yeah, it covers everything. A store employee can easily tell you that. And you're like, oh, this is a great value. Okay, I'll probably get it stolen or lost or something. So let me cover it. And then when it happens and you call the actual insurance, they're like, no, that doesn't cover it. You're like, yo, they told me that when I purchased it. And they're like, I'm sorry, it doesn't. What are you going to do? It's a lose. So again, it's just really funny. Let us know in the comments. Are you like pro insurance or not really? You don't really do insurance. We don't really do it because it's just too much caveat and too many different variables that happens when you claim.
The only thing on credit cards which is good is that you can dispute pretty much most of the charges.
Right. Yolanda says, does your health insurance cover you in different countries? Again, we covered that, right? Like we don't have the insurance. Medication from the hospital is expensive. I was charged $20 for an over-the-counter pills, which I can pay $10 or for 500 count. Yeah, it's just more expensive in hospitals. I mean, I don't know why. Sheila's here. Hey, welcome. Yolanda also says we have to meet a deductible service before service is covered that year. A ripoff.
Yeah.
There's always something. Jason says Apple is the best. I agree. I agree with that statement.
Only when you have if you lose your phone and you want to claim it through the Apple insurance, you need to make sure the location is turned on Apple. Otherwise, they will not cover that.
So, being that we're on this Apple topic, I'm going to give you guys a little story of what happened to me. And I had no idea that this is a thing. And I'm sure a lot of you probably don't know this as well. So while we were in Bali, Irene and I was doing some filming, and I was filming on my iPhone. At that time, I had the Apple Pro 14. Was it 13? I think it was the 14 Pro
I
Max.
think the same.
Yeah, the 14 Pro Max. So we were filming in a
Mhm.
pool. I asked Irene, I said, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where YouTubers kind of dip their phones in water and they take these water shots and it's just the phone, no case or anything. So I think I could do that. She's like, I wouldn't trust that if I was you. I was like, yeah, but I've seen them do it. I've even seen them put the water in the sink and pour the phone in the sink and pour water over it, and it records. Everything is perfectly fine. So I think they do have kind of like a water resistant type of thing where I'm only dunking the camera into the water at this level. So if you look at this end, you notice that that's where you talk. That's where the microphone is, which makes that an open port. So I'm like, I'm only going to dip the camera, turn it upside down, dip the camera into here. So it's only the camera and there's no open ports here. So I dipped the camera into the pool. We got some cool underwater shots, whatever. Fast forward about 2 hours later, I'm on my phone. My phone completely turns green,
Yeah.
fluorescent green. It locked. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't tap the phone. It was just solid green. Right away, I started Googling it. Apparently, other people have the same issue where their phones turn green, but I couldn't really find a solution. People said, oh, hard reboot it. There's a thing where you hit the up button, hit the bottom button, then hit the power button and hold the power button. That hard reboots the phone. That is true, but that didn't work. My phone was still completely green. Now, we had like another week left in Bali before coming to Thailand. And then I realized in Thailand, there's an Apple store. There's not an Apple store in Bali.
At least an official one.
Right, not an official store, only these little small stores that kind of have the Apple logo and they say they do fixings. But when we came to Bali, right away we made an appointment to go. Into Thailand. We made an appointment to go into the Apple store. Got to the Apple store. The guy looked at the phone, and he's like, "Okay, we go check on it." They checked on it. They came back. They were like, "It's water damage." I'm like, "Water damage?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, well, I dipped it in the pool, but I only dipped like just the camera. He's like, yeah, but what you don't realize, there's actually a small hole. There's a pinhole right next to the camera, and that's where the moisture got in. So he's like, it's never, this is coming from an Apple representative. He said it's never a good idea to wet your phone. And I was like, oh.
Even steam in the shower.
Right. He said, we have people who come in, and some people like to listen to music or podcasts or whatever while taking a shower. The steam from the shower, the hot water, can actually get inside these ports and cause damage. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but there's a possibility that it happens because he said phones get brought in because of that. So here's the thing that I wanted to tell you guys. When they were like, we're going to have to issue you a new phone. I have Apple Care. Beautiful. It all works out. When he gave me the phone, he's like, I just want to let you know this is going to be a Thai phone. And I'm like, right away when he said that, I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, is it like a secondary phone or something, or a refurbished phone or something? He's like, no, the difference is the phone you got, you bought it within the US, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm like, how did you know? He's like, well, when you purchase a phone within the United States, Apple 14 iPhone does not have a tray that pops out for you to put a SIM card. They got rid of the tray. Now, if you have an iPhone 13, 12, 11, 10, those had a tray. But the 14, they got rid of the tray, which means in the United States, when you purchase an iPhone, that's why Apple now sell, you could get T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon. You have to buy one of those carriers because there is no SIM card. And I was like, holy crap, I did not know that. He's like, yeah, with this Thai phone, you notice it has a SIM tray, which means I can go to any country, purchase a cheap SIM, and pop it in. And I was like, holy crap, I had no idea that was a thing. But what I was also told is that the iPhone 15, 16, and further up, they also will not have a tray and in the US. And actually, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're from another country besides the US, like in Europe, let me know if the iPhone 15 has a tray, because I was told all the iPhones moving forward from the 14 will not have a tray at all. They're just going to get rid of the tray completely. So let me know if you have an iPhone from another country that you purchased in that country, if it has a SIM card tray. And this way, what that looks like to me is that they're locking you in. They're not giving you an option where you can go to a country and say, oh, I'm going to buy a really cheap SIM and pop it in. Now I have to do an eSIM, and eSIM seems to be the way, the direction everything is going when it comes to cell phones. So it's convenient having an eSIM because you could just use a third-party app, which we use Air Allo, and we've promoted it a lot. We've used it and it's great. It does have its, its cons just like everything else, but it just seems like that's the way it's going to go. You will no longer have a tray, because I remember clearly one of the iPhones, I believe it was the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 12, actually came with two trays. So they tell you you can have one tray with your domestic
No, I think
SIM.
it was one SIM and one eSIM.
That's what it was. So yeah, it was two possibilities regardless. So you had an eSIM and then you had a tray, but now they're getting rid of that. Let me know if you knew that. Like in the US, there's no tray for the phone,
Yeah.
but if you buy your phone in Europe or any other country, it has a
And
tray.
in Thailand, for example, regular Thai phone carriers, they don't use eSIMs. They only have regular SIMs.
Yeah. So yeah, that was something I didn't know, and I was like, yeah, sure, give me the one with the SIM, because again, we use eSIMs, but there are times where you go to a country and purchasing a SIM card is way cheaper than using an eSIM.
Yeah, or sometimes, like for example, we here in Thailand and we actually need a physical number to call different things or for deliveries and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, again, that's something I had no idea. Jason says I get insurance on some things, Apple products, DJI products, and car.
Yeah, DJI is definitely a good thing to have.
Mhm.
And we use that insurance for the drone when our drone got decided to take a dive in the
Yeah,
ocean in
in
Hawaii.
Hawaii, yeah. And they gave me a free drone. They sent me a free drone. And I was just like, wow, it was that easy.
Yeah,
And
it
they
was
sent it
impressive.
fast, very fast. Their customer service was great as well.
Battery. You see the battery?
Oh, yeah, it's good though. It's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, our battery for the laptop is about to die soon. Anyway, we're just about closing out. If you guys have any other comments or any other questions, please leave it. We're approaching towards the end of the live here, because we have some filming to do and we need to get an early start
I'm
on that.
starving and I want
Yeah, I'm
my coffee.
starving too. Um, let's see, what else do we have here? Yolanda says, I had to take my grandson's iPhone and put it in rice to dry it out. It works. With the insurance, I had to pay $50 to repair a crack on the screen. Yeah, now that's crazy
Yeah.
but it's funny that you said that putting it in rice works. I recently saw a video, and I don't
That they
know,
say not
that
to
they
do.
say do not put your phone in rice. I did it when I got the chance to. It happened to several phones I've had before where I put my phone in rice,
Yeah.
and it I don't know. I don't know if it works or not. I can't really say for sure. Jason says everything is going towards eSIM.
Mhm.
That is true. Um, AIS and True have eSIMs in Thailand. Yes, those are the two.
No, they don't have eSIMs because we went to AIS. That's the SIM card we
That's
have,
the one we have.
and they said they don't have eSIMs.
But they do have an app that you can pay through.
Yeah,
Right?
but
You can
it's not
tap
an
off, but it's not
eSIM.
an eSIM. So yeah, I don't know if that's a question, Jason, or is that something that you experienced? Because on our end,
When we went to the physical store, they said they don't have the eSIMs.
but in all fairness, when we went to the physical store, that's when we first got here,
Yeah.
which was about 9 months ago. So maybe things have changed. So let us know, Jason.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a new thing.
Yeah. We have this comment from West Coast.
Where we at here? Okay, so West Coast asks, I washed my hands at the Miami airport before my flight. The iPhone broke and I lost all my cruise footage, but found someone who saved my media. Whoa, you're lucky on that one, because we've had some really bad experience.
How there's washing hands before flights and iPhone breaking?
Because when he was washing his hands, I guess the water got wet. The phone got wet. Right. So
I mean,
yeah, it was
just from
again,
hands
yeah,
like that?
water
Wow.
damage. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, it's crazy. You just never know sometimes. So recently, what happened to me? We were shooting a vlog at one of the malls, and it was an outdoor mall. my phone got extremely
Oh, yeah.
hot. It was an extremely hot day out as well. So that contributed to a lot of it. But also, when we film in 4K, 60 frames per second. Again, it's using the processor for the iPhone very heavily, plus the external heat. The iPhone just shut off. And we couldn't get it to turn back
Yeah,
on.
it wasn't
It
rebooting
would
at
not
all.
reboot. We cooled it down. We put it next to something cooler. We had it in the bag. It did not turn on. Luckily, the Apple store was literally just a couple train stops away. We jumped on the train. I went, got a thing to get the iPhone checked. They took it down. When they brought it back up, all he did the hard reboot. And if you don't know this, if anything happens to your iPhone, this is what they told me to do. If the screen shuts off, what you need to do is these two little buttons on the side to hard reboot your phone. You tap the top button, you tap the bottom button, and then you long press the power button. So tap, tap, press, and hold, and your phone that should reboot. In other words, you should see the Apple logo pop up. That's if your phone doesn't turn on at all for whatever reason. Try doing that. That's called a hard reboot, and it should reboot your phone. I tried that when my phone was green. That didn't work. Well, again, I found out it was water damage, so it wouldn't. So just a little bit of tip from going through all these experiences with Apple that I found out that they told me I can do.
Oh, Yolanda, regarding the screen, we actually use regular screen protectors. You can buy like a pack of three on Amazon for about $10, and they work really well. The screen protectors break, but they're so cheap, you just replace it.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't experienced broken screen on the iPhone, and we drop like
Yeah,
I'm very clumsy. I
yeah.
drop my phone all the time.
Jason asked what streaming software do we use? Right now, we're currently using a paid version of StreamYard, and it works really well. It's kind of on the pricey side, but again, it works very well. And now they just integrated streaming
Instagram.
on Instagram, but it just has a little quirky that you have to like set it up through StreamYard. But when you're ready to go live, you also have to go in and do that. You tapped me.
Mhm.
Okay. So Chris says, see you in 3 days. Yes,
Yay!
Philippines in 3 days.
Super excited.
Okay. James says, good to see you. Happy filming and travels to the Philippines. A big hello to Chris and Martha. All right, we're gonna close this one out because my computer's flashing at me, which means we have to go, and also we have to go film. We thank you guys for joining. Again, this is the last live video we are creating
From
from
Thailand.
Thailand. We have more Thailand videos coming up. We have some malls we want to show you. That's amazing. Largest 7-Eleven in the world. We're going to go film right now. So again, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll try to go live from the Philippines. We don't know what the internet's going to be like, but we're going to keep it in mind. We're going to try same schedule as it is today and every other day, every other week, I should say. So again, thank you guys so much for joining. You guys are awesome. Love to see you here. Love to conversate with you guys, and we hope to see you in the next one. If we don't go live, I'm going to do a post um, in the community and say that based on our internet, we're not able to go live this week, but I'll keep you guys posted. So again, if you guys have not turned on your notifications, please do so. That way you get all the notifications of when we go live, when we create a new video, and everything else in the community that we would want to share with you. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Living the Globe. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Living the Globe, and you can always DM us there. That is the best place to reach us. We respond very promptly. And again, thank you guys so much. And we will see you
In the next one.
in the next one. Ooh.